All right, once upon a time long ago, in a land very, very close by, our ancestors traveled to this planet using 5 different gateways and set up shop on the best part of the planet Earth. Y'all with me on that? All right, they manifested these gateways through the earth. We came by way of the air. We came by way of the water. We came by way of the fire. And we manifested through the ethers. So we're talking about 5 different ways that we manifest things. That's alchemy right there. Okay? And I'm breaking this down because this is going to be real critical when we get into the 5 bloodlines. All right? Once we manifested on the planet, let me go back. Once we got settled, everything was good on the planet. You follow what I'm saying? And what we did was, we began to use art as a way to preserve those sciences. So whichever pathway you came through, if you was into an earth element, you manifested your secret sciences through the hieroglyphs. That was where your science was preserved, within the hieroglyphs. And it wasn't just art, but remember we talking about art being part of a science. Through the air, the drum, the sacred drum, the powerful drum, the drum used when we was going to war, and the drum used when new birth was being born on the planet. We pounded the drum. The drum was the heartbeat, and we would sync our heartbeat up, and whether the drum was going up tempo like this, unless the drum was going slow, your heartbeat, and you would resonate with that drum. Water, the sacred dancer. The body is more than 70% water, so, and it's composed of so many elements within that blood and that water. So the sacred dancer who would speak to you not with words, but by the way he or she moved their body with those geometrical formations that could make it rain, that could make the crops go by dancing, strictly dancing. So that science was preserved there for those who came up through that. Then there was the fire, or the griot and oracle, the one who's doing what I'm doing now, that told stories. And we passed that science down from either mouth to ear. The ones who didn't write their science down, they preserved their science and they spit that fire. The ether we'll call the knowledge, the pineal gland. All of this, as A.A. Rashid tells you, is garbage. It's all about the activated pineal gland. So everything was good. And the pineal gland, or the knowledge, connected all other elements. So all the elements were held together by the knowledge. Without the knowledge, the elements would scatter independently and be fighting against each other. But with the knowledge that we all connected, we all were connected. And it was good. Can somebody turn the lights down in the back for me? Or maybe it's over here. Is the lights over there? Oh, there we go. And it was good. And our people were happy. Land was beautiful. We had no problems whatsoever on the land. We had all the riches, all the gold. We were world travelers at this time. And it was a real beautiful time. And then the ones who were mutants, they weren't like us. The bloodsuckers of the planet were jealous of what we were doing. They was jealous of all the riches that we possessed. They were jealous that we were world travelers. We were intergalactical travels. So what they did is they came in and they murdered and shut the bloodline down. They tried to kill off the bloodline by killing the people. And they were successful for a while, and the bloodline had to escape and attempt to mutate through gospel, through jazz, through the blues, through doo-wop, through bebop, through scat, through rock, through R&B. And the diabolical ones were happy because they were destroying everything that we had worked for. There was no trace of the bloodline, or so they thought there was no trace of the bloodline. Until the year 1993, something very phenomenal happened in the year 1993. There was a sign that the Bloodlines were still alive and they just needed to be activated. 1973, I'm sorry. 1973, and they just needed to be activated. They needed 3 individuals to come and reactivate and open back up the gateway. One of those individuals had the power of Hercules, and he was the first one to come to Cedar Park and set up his turntables in his Herculean system, and send out the sound, the call, the breakbeat, the new breakbeat that will reconnect this bloodline. The other had wisdom-like or Buddha-like wisdom, and he would already have the nation of an army, or the army of a nation behind him, of Zulus who was ready to go to war, and he brought the culture of what hip-hop would be. The other had the technological and speed of Flash, and he brought a whole nother element to hip-hop that would reconnect our people to that ancient bloodline from many years ago. And together they formed a pyramid which opened up a gateway which brought, oh, I love that Star Wars. Oh yeah, that's what we talk. We're talking intergalactic here. So brought this energy back into the universe in the Boogie Down Bronx in 1973. And then in 1973, something strange started happening. The people started waking up once again. They started reconnecting with who they were. Yeah. They started taking on the elements. So the 4 basic elements started reforming. And that was the graffiti, the hieroglyph became the graffiti artist. So he became the new ones who began to do the hieroglyphs. The drummer became the DJ, as you see here, who took 2 turntables and began to play those turntables and resonate those sounds, which got the forces going again. The sacred dancer became the b-boy, who began to hit the concrete and show you that we are still of the same bloodline. And the 4th, the fire became the MC, the brother who would stand and spit his freestyles on the corner, rhyme for rhyme, rhyme for rhyme, rhyme for rhyme, letting the people know that yes, y'all, and you don't stop. And the 5th element, the knowledge, was held for a little while until Bambaataa decided to tell us that that 5th element knowledge was back on the planet. And it took 33 years really for that knowledge to reach an apex. 33 years, and the date was August 27th, 2006, before brothers began to come together and unveil the knowledge. But also, remember, the diabolical ones were added again at this point. In 1989, they staged war against hip-hop, and they began to bring in gangster rap, and they began to bring in prostitution in hip-hop, and they began to bring in negative messages to once again destroy what we had set up. And they felt that they had won because they were offering our young brothers money, cars, women, and the war was still set, and we... That's good. But the war is not over. So the brothers and sisters who are one of these particular elements, because each and every one of us in here are either a dancer, a writer, an MC, we love music, or we have the knowledge. We are here to bring the knowledge, because as we move closer to the year 2012, when that consciousness shift is scheduled to take place, the only music on the planet will be the music that you are hearing now. And we cannot let these diabolical ones corrupt that music. So we must use the knowledge to put this all back on track. Brothers and sisters, welcome to the 5 Bloodlines of Hip Hop.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful.